Welcome back to Commodity Champions, and we're talking about the International Gemological Institute's Diamond Show. The yellow metal naturally shined at the show and was in focus for most brands. Suvankar Sen of Senco Gold spoke to me about the demand of gold, and when asked about Senco's IPO plans, he said the announcement may happen pretty soon.
This time we saw in Akshaya Tritiya that the buyers, that time the prices were lower. And buyers were looking at it in a positive way. A lot of them, the wedding jewelry buying was happening, and at the other end we could see token purchases happening by the buyers. Overall footfalls were down, but still business was there. But this last 7-10 days, see, these all-time high, customers all takes a pause. They are confused whether this is sustainable or things will correct. But somewhere, for the long run, I can imagine that there is a positive sentiment towards the commodity by the buyers, be it, the franchisees or the end consumer, because they can see that the stocks that they have invested is appreciating. So I hope that once the prices stabilize or takes a smaller correction or whatever happens, we will be able to see. The only thing is that the disposable income of the economy and the consumers needs to go up so that they can continue to buy jewelry.
Absolutely. So, in India, it's not just about the gold prices rising. It also is about the high tax structure. It also is about an immediate discount that starts to create in the spot market and the unofficial gold that keeps coming into the country as well.
Right.
How do you look at all of these issues?
No, I can humbly request the government that gold prices internationally has gone really high, and we as Indians, not only because I'm a member of the industry but as a consumer, we should try to reduce the duty so that our Indian consumers, the culture of buying gold was always there, and it should be affordable to them. I can see that the countries across the world are buying gold. Chinese consumers are buying gold. So why should we let the Indian consumers feel a pain? And then the middle class customer, gold has always been a part of their savings. So it is my humble request to the Indian government that to kindly consider on reducing the duty that will control the smuggling as well.
Would you say that the organized players have it better than the unorganized ones, and that's clearly where the government focus seems to be going on to?
Better in which sense?
The hallmarking is in, and the way the organized players seem to be expanding, opening more stores. Do you think this is a sector that seems to be doing way better?
Well, it is because, see, you can only grow when your systems and processes are in place. Then the banks, the investors, everyone has more confidence in ensuring that the money is going to the right hands. And that is how the organized players are able to grow. And I can tell you that I have been in the industry for the last 15 years. The unorganized players today, we call them or look down upon them. But with the new generation coming in, if we look, the ratios of unorganized to organized in terms of organized growing up is there. But the new generation of unorganized wants to be organized. People have realized, and everyone is becoming more and more organized.
Would you say with the hallmarking coming in, there's a level playing field now?
Yes, there's a level playing field. See, when we know something as a human being, when we know what is right, but it's painful, we procrastinate. But by the effort that the government is taking, I think that what is right is not being procrastinated, and it's a pain for the short term, but in the long run, the unorganized will be organized, and everyone as an industry will benefit out of it.
How are you also looking at the financialization of gold as the target of the government has been? Do you see that happening?
It will happen. See, with the increasing gold price, consumers, the young generation consumers, they will not want to invest in assets which will remain idle for them, right? And we know that gold increases its price when there's a crisis. We've been telling it, and it's happening right now as well. So for them, they know that in the future with gold monetization scheme or the gold loan business overall, the agricultural sector has always been dependent on them. And even the unorganized loan that the agricultural sector used to get against gold, that is also becoming organized. So this monetization scheme and the financial aspect of gold and the digital gold that is also there. So consumers not only will buy jewelry but will buy the digital gold, and you have the electronic receipts. So I think gold is going to become a very critical aspect of the overall financial markets.
And this wouldn't be the first time that you have Indian jewelry or Indian companies traveling out of India and expand and look at other markets.
No, see, already there are a lot of brands which are doing. And we know that India today is amongst the top 3-4 economies in the world gold jewelry manufacturing has been our forte. And with the world respecting India as a country, we improve our system processes, our manufacturing prowess, and then the way we are having the IGI show in Dubai, and we can see that new consumers from other parts of the markets are also coming and meeting. I think that Indian brands will also keep on expanding globally.
And then there's an IPO in pipeline. What updates can we have on that from you?
The efforts are on. The markets were a little unstable in the last 3-4 months, but that is also looking better. So we are very positive and hopeful as always, and we hope to give good news soon.
All right, that's one weight in the Indian markets. Then the Senco Gold's IPO that could be hitting Indian markets. As he says, it's pretty online there. Staying with gold, Colin Shah of Kama Jewellery says that the gold prices will continue to rise in the long term. He also tells me that diamonds have increased by 25 to 30% in sense of demand and prices post the pandemic. Shah also believes that business will turn positive after Diwali. Listen in.
In the long term, I think gold will continue to go up because we're still in a volatile era. I guess for the next 1-2 years till the Russia-Ukraine crisis is solved, America gets back on its feet again, China really comes back out of the pandemic, Europe recovers from this whole war situation. So considering everything which is happening, long-term gold will go up. But like yesterday, the unemployment data of US came out and it looked better than what everyone expected it to be, and gold corrected. So we're going to have these small corrections along the way, but long term I'm still bullish on gold.
So while last year for India was really amazing in sense of sales, whether it was silver imports, whether it was gold selling, this year hasn't started so great in sense of sales. Is at least the initial idea that we get from the markets. How is it for you?
It's the same for our industry in terms of value. Even Akshaya Tritiya, I guess everyone made up the value compared to last year, and maybe they were low double digits up, but in terms of volume, everyone is lower than where they were last year. So, that's a reality. Having said that, India still continues to be, I think, one of the brightest spots in the world. And if the economy continues, especially in an election year, the way it's predicted to continue, we expect the business to be very positive come Diwali.
Okay. How are you also looking at diamonds picking up? Because we do understand the way the gold prices have gone up. The diamonds haven't, thankfully. Is it a good time to start buying those?
Diamonds have also gone up. In the last 1-2 years, they've gone up nearly 25-30% post-pandemic. We really see that this year also they will be stable and maybe only go up, I would say, between 3 to 5%, for the simple reason that the rough imports from Russia haven't happened.
Right.
And that's a third of the supply of natural diamonds gone. So though we have lab-grown diamonds coming up in a big way, and they're eating some share of the natural diamond business, but because of the shortage of supply, we're not going to see any prices going down.
We see so many exhibitions happening, not just in India, but outside India as well. And I'm sure you guys continue to meet different kind of markets here. But what is doing better? Is it B2B even now, or is B2C picking up as well?
No, B2B does only well if B2C picks up.
Right.
So in terms of consumer, see, one very positive thing which maybe has happened for our business especially is the new markets which have gotten created. So if you look at it traditionally, say when people like me started into the business 20-25 years back, our market was only America and Europe, and the remaining parts of the world were still at a very nascent stage. India consumed only 1-3% of the diamonds manufactured. Slowly that's gone up to between 5 and 7 to 10% also, and China came up as a large market. What we are very positive about as an industry is Africa, and Africa seems to be the next continent which is now becoming prosperous. There's a population out there who wants to go and spend money. A lot of countries which have been in strife for all their lives are now finally having democracies and much more industrialization happening in the last 2-3 years. So we're very positive that Africa will be the next big market for all of us. Eastern Europe unfortunately was coming up, in a big way, but the war happened. But it still stays to, like countries like Poland are doing very well.
Okay.
So we have some new markets which have come up, which is very good for the industry.
I just want to understand that within India also, when you look at geographies, where do you see better demand coming in from? Are you looking at, I mean, we keep talking about higher disposable income that India is seeing right now and is really cut off from the kind of recession or slowdown concerns that we are seeing in other areas. So who's buying? What age group is buying? What are you targeting?
In India, surprisingly, it's still the 40+ age group, which is continues to be the largest buyer for gems and jewelry. The millennials have woken up, and you see a lot of everyday wear jewelry, which is 100%, I would say, where the new age demand is coming from, but it's not as large as what the 40+ age group is buying.
Okay.
But having said that, in India, if you speak to any of the large retailers, their large expansion plans are in the states where you would have thought 5 years back they would never go, like UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. So there's huge amount of expansion happening in those areas, and there are towns which you must have heard of. I definitely haven't, where there are malls, multiplexes, there are luxury cars being sold. So there is a new India, which is extremely good news for all of us.
All right, so from expansion of stores to big penetration into various cities and towns is what the jewelry industry is looking at. But with that, that's all the time that we have on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.